All right, well, good morning, everybody. Richardson, Texas is really warm this morning. It's been cold a few days, but I'm sure that all of you, wherever you're joining us from, are doing well. We wanted to take a few minutes to talk to you about something which is very important to you all, and which is course registration. And I'm sure that there are a lot of questions, anxiety probably about it, and this is a new thing. And a lot of excitement, I would say. Most of it is a lot of excitement. So when you have questions, I think the source of those questions somewhere is some kind of excitement. And we're very happy that it's just a few more days and you'll be here with us in the program. Well, this session is aimed towards some of the common questions that we get around course registrations, and especially with new students as to what needs to be done. So I'm going to take you through some slides here which has some important information, and then we'll straight away jump into the Q&A. Now, please use the Q&A feature of this live event to ask your questions, and we will go through them. I don't think so our presentation should take more than 15 or 20 minutes, but right after that, we'll jump into your questions. The number one thing, and if you have not done it already, please go ahead, and if you're planning to join us for summer or fall, go ahead and accept the admit. There is no fee for accepting the admit. There's nothing called a seat fee here, or you have to pay something to secure your admission. The admission is given to you. That is secured. All you have to do is just let us know by accepting the admit that you plan to come to UT Dallas. And again, all the ability that you may not have right now, because if you have not accepted the admission, you will not see a lot of features like course enrollment and all. So please do that. If you need steps, utdallas.edu/accept is where you need to go to accept the admission. Catalog. So the new fall catalog is out. And if you go to this link right here, you will see, and all you have to do is come to our Business Analytics Flex program and click on the catalog and you'll go to this page. But the new catalog is updated. There are a lot of new courses that we have added, some very exciting courses that I'm personally very excited about to see you all take them. But you can find that entire listing for the next year there. Now, people who are starting in summer, you will still follow the previous year's catalog. But again, you can always change and move on to the new one, in fall if you want to do that. Some common questions that come around the TB test and meningitis vaccine is that, yes, you are required to take a TB test at a authorized place or at UT Dallas, and mostly students take it at UT Dallas, and in case needed, they go to places that are authorized by UT Dallas. On the Student Health Center website, you will find all those details of the centers. Now remember, the TB test has to be done on US soil. You can't do it internationally. It has to be done at a place that's authorized by UT Dallas, and hence the list is available. So please do not get a test done anywhere else thinking that that'll be accepted. The other thing is about the meningitis vaccine. And meningitis vaccine, now you may see a hold if you are below the age of 22, or you might see that requirement out there. But remember, if you are not turning 22 before the start of classes, so on the day of the start of classes, and let's say for fall 22, August 23rd, if you don't turn 22 by then you are required to take the vaccine. Again, the details of where you can take the vaccine from all is given. And again, it can be done internationally. The details are there. They just need some proof that you have been vaccinated. All that information is on the Student Health Center website. Now, let's say you are right now less than 22, but in the next few weeks, you're turning 22, and then by the time of the classes, you will be there. You can reach out to registrar at utdallas.edu to just move that hold. This is one of the health-related holds where you don't have to reach out to the Student Health Center is the meningitis vaccine hold. Now, if you see a TB test hold, don't ask the health center to remove it. Ask them to move it. There's a difference. When you say that, please remove my hold, Without the test, that cannot happen. They have to do the test to remove it. But to help you register for classes, they will need you to, or they will just move the hold by a few weeks so that right now you have the ability to register for classes. But before you sit in the classes, you must complete the TB test. Any other holds that you may have, things like your enrollment related holds, reach out to Jason, gradvising@utdallas.edu. When I say enrollment related holds like cannot register online. Now I know that our advisors are working, diligently on removing those holds, but if you don't see them removed, a couple of days before your appointment time, please make sure that you email jsomgradvising@utdallas asking them to remove it. Any health center related, so the only one that we can talk about here is the TB test, and that is healthsen@utdallas.edu. Any other holds that you have, admission@utdallas.edu is the place to go for. I just mentioned about the appointment, and all of you can check out your enrollment appointment. So every student is given an enrollment appointment on which they start enrolling. Now that's not the window in which only in that window you can go and register for classes. You can register for classes in any window, at any time starting that window. So the reason why we do that is, and again, it all depends on how new you are to UT Dallas. So the newest students will get the latest slot. Students who are close to graduation will get the earliest preference. And that is done to ensure that not everybody jumps on enrolling for the same classes at the same time and creating a blockage there. So that's why you will see them staggered. Now, you may see that some of you may get a slot which is a few hours or maybe a day after another peer of yours who has got that. That allocation is random. But the way we take care of it in the program is, see, the courses that you need to take as a student, we make sure that there are enough sections that you can enroll in. So you're protected in some way. The important one, what courses to take in the first semester. And again, the 3 courses that are listed here: Database Foundation for Analytics, 16320, 16356, Business Analytics with R, and 16359, Advanced Statistics for Data Science. All these 3 courses are recommended, but if you don't want to take them in the first semester, not a problem. You just have to remember one thing: these courses, for some of your advanced courses, are prereqs. So you better take them in the first semester so that you're done with the fact that you have to complete them later on. See, a prereq is a course that has to be done in a semester prior to the course for which it is a prereq. And then there are courses that are co-requisites. So for example, 16356 has a prereq and also at the same time a co-req of advanced statistics, which means that advanced statistics can be taken in a semester before BA with R, or it can be taken along with BA with R because it is a co-req. Now, one of the courses that is not listed here, and I'll just mention that, it's called Big Data. Just for an example, Big Data's prereq is 16320, the Database Foundation class, which means the 6320 has to be taken in a semester before you take Big Data. You cannot take it together because Big Data doesn't have a co-requisite of 6320. It has a prerequisite. That's the difference that you need to know. Now, you can take any course in the first semester. There is no hard and fast rule that you must complete your core and then only you take electives. You can mix and match it any way you want to. The only thing that you have to remember is, if you're taking a course, have you met the prerequisites if there is a prerequisite? Now, there are a lot of courses which don't have prerequisites. For example, we have Buan 6385, which is robotic process automation, RPA, has no prerequisite. You can take that in the first semester without any issues. Now, if a course has a co-req, then you can take that in the same semester. So maybe not a first semester course, but just for an example, the deep learning class that we have has a co-requisite or a prerequisite of machine learning, which means because it has a co-requisite, it can be taken in the same semester together. The only thing I want to stress here is that how prereqs and co-reqs are different and they cannot be interchanged. The other thing is, you cannot say that, we have certain experience, so can we take it as a co-requisite? Not really. A prereq has to be taken before, a co-req can be taken together in the same semester. For our domestic students, you can take any of the courses available. Just make sure that you look at the prerequisites and the co-requisites. MAS 6102, which is professional development, it's a 1 credit hour course and it's outside of the 36 credits. It's a program prerequisite. Can be taken, it has to be taken in the first semester, but you can waive it off. And there are the link that you can see helps you look at the different criteria. Now, one of the criteria that's most important is, have you at least spent 2 years in the US working for any company? If you have done that, then you have the experience and they will waive it off. And there are some other criteria as well, like are you enrolled in an MBA program? Have you done a similar course at UTD, etc., etc. But if you have not worked in the US and you've not taken a course related to this before at UTD, then you cannot waive it off. So irrespective of your status, I would still recommend that look at this link and find out if you meet any of the criteria. Now, OPRE 6303 is again another course which is a program prerequisite. It's a 3 credit course, is not part of the 36 credit, and it has to be taken in the first semester. Now, how do we know if we have to take professional development or OPRE 6303? And OPRE 6303 is a course for students who do not have a calculus background. Both these courses, if they are required, would be listed on your admit. All of you have received an admit letter and it would be listed there. If it says that you have to take either one of them or both of them, then you have to take them. Now, for our international students, again, you can enroll in any of the courses provided you take care of the prereq and corec, but you need to enroll in at least 9 credits. That is by by USCIS that as an international student, you need to be full-time. And full-time student status for fall 22, or if you start in spring 23, it has to be 9 credits. Now, if you're starting in summer, you don't need 9 credits. You need 6 because 6 is enough to give you full-time status. So you need to be a full-time student when you start off. Now, you can take 1 course per 9 credits, which is online. So the OW courses that you see, the section numbers on coursebook, all of them are pre-recorded courses. They're online courses, and you can take them if you want to, but you need to take only 1 per 9 credits, or you can take 2 per 12 credits. And this is specifically for international students. Domestic students, you take all your courses online, not a problem. You're not bound by anything. Again, the first semester course of MAS 6102 has to be taken, or OPRE 6303 if it applies to you. Now, academic calendar, when your classes start, what is the registration deadline? So there is a regular registration deadline, and then right after that, there are 10 days that start for late registration. Now, there's a $100 charge for late registration, but we are opening registration for you April, May, June, July, almost 4 months before the deadline hits. So you have enough time. The same document, and it's a 2-page document that the entire university follows for deadlines. So the second page of it has all the payment deadlines. And since you're registering early, you will follow the early payment deadline, which is July 27th. Now, if you've received a scholarship or any kind of financial aid, for you, it is September 1st. And the reason why those extra days is given because once we know who the recipients are and their names are sent to the state for the tuition discounts and all, your tuition type changes from, in case if it changes, from out of state to in-state, all that. So it takes time, and that's why the extended time is given until September 1st. For summer students, it's May 19th that you have to pay your fee, or June 2nd. Now, you have holds, and there are 2 types of holds. There are positive holds and there are negative holds. Negative holds are like cannot register online. That's a negative hold because it stops you from doing something. But there are some positive holds as well that may be put on your account. Like, for example, if there is an extension on the fee payment for the entire university for new students, it will be put on your account as a positive hold. It doesn't stop you from doing anything, but it gives you the understanding of what needs to be done, or it's more like a way to communicate a message to you. That should tell you this is the last slide, but you can contact me or Mrs. Leventhal for any kind of questions that you may have. Our emails are there, our direct phone numbers are there, and I do see that we have some good questions. So let us see which ones are unanswered that we can take right now. All right, so one of the questions, and I do see that there's a question about enterprise system certificate, and Mrs. Leventhal just posted the link there. One of the things about our certificates is that you can take the certificate as part of your degree, and you must make sure that the courses that are there on the certificate also apply to your degree. And the way we have created all these certificates in the area is created in a way that they are not on top of your degree. So they don't have courses listed which are outside of the program. They are within the program. So if you take those courses, you get dual credit. You get credit towards your certificate, you get credit towards your degree program. You don't pay tuition twice, you just pay tuition once. The other thing, and which is an important one, is I would not recommend doing it now, but once the census day for your semesters are over, whether it is fall or summer, and you want to go for any of the certificates, we will need an application. Put that application in. At that point of time, there will be only 3 things that will be required. Your resume, a short essay, 3 or 4 sentences as to why you want to pursue a particular certificate, and then 1 letter of recommendation. You may know faculty around by then. You can ask them to write one for you. You don't have to pay any application fee. Why? Because now you get a waiver. Since you're a current student, or let's say anytime in the future after you graduate and you want to do a certificate, you will never have to pay the application fee, because that's what is waived for current students and alums. So I'm looking at the question that I'm planning to attend from fall semester. I still have a TB test. I sent an email to health center department requesting to push it. Okay. All right. I know that the team at the health center is pushing those holds forward so that students can register. But if close to your, maybe in the next 2 days, if you don't see that moved, send me an email directly and I will see what can be done. Another thing that I want to mention here is that any kind of holds, me or Mrs. Leventhal, we don't move those holds. We are not the ones who are, have the authority or even the ability to go and move those holds. But when we ask you guys to send us an email, we're just trying to provide you some extra service to help you by reaching out to people. Now, we also want to be, courteous to our colleagues here and make sure that, we are not bombarding them with emails that, there is an email sent by you, then there's an email sent by us. Because remember, some of these, our colleagues, the time that they will use to answer an email, they can use that time to maybe remove your hold altogether. So don't worry if you still have time. Look at your appointment. If you are very close to the appointment and the hold has not been removed, we will help you out. Having said that, even if, let's say, on the day of your appointment, a hold is still there, it's not a situation in which you cannot come out of, because there are so many options available for first year students that you don't run out of those options. So don't worry, we will be there to take care of you. There might be a situation where you'll see that all classes are filled and you don't have any place to go. Don't panic. We have always evaluated how enrollments are going, how the wait lists are going. Do we need to increase the capacity of the class? Do we need to add new sections, etc.? We do all that. But what we request from you is some patience. Let us know if there is something that you're not able to do, like register for class or whatever it is, but have faith. We will take care of you. And again, when we add new sections, it's not like that we can just go in and just add a random section. Again, there is proper planning that has to be done, but we expedite everything so that we ensure that those sections or those new capacities are added as soon as possible to help you enroll. So let us help you, but also, know that we will take care of you. No student out there will be in a situation where they say, I have nothing to enroll. Well, there are options always. In the enrollment, and this is from Anish Gun, in the enrollment appointments tab under manage my classes option, I can see 2 dates for regular academic session, begins 6th April and 25th April. Yes, so 6th is fine. And again, there are different kinds of sessions out there. And thank you for that question, because that reminded me of something that I'm sure that some of you might be confused about. So you may say something called a full term, and then you may see an 8-week session, first 8-week session, second 8-week session, and this is a fall. For summer students, you might see a first 5-week session and second 5-week session. For all of you, a full term applies. You don't do the first 8-week or second 8-week like that, unless there is a course which is available that way. So let's say we have the professional development class, and that might be a first 8-week session or a second 8-week session, because those are not full semester courses. But anytime you're taking a 3-credit class, that is going to be full term. There are very few of them that are 1 credit. So your internship can be a 1 or 2 credit class. And it can be both full term, or it could be the first 8-week or second 8-week. Your PD class is such. So, depending on what classes it is, but 98% of your classes that you will take, the 3-credit courses, are always going to be full term. Anurag, Kiran, I would like to know about T and RA opportunities, and Mrs. Leventhal put that you're not eligible in the first semester because we need you to have experience at UT Dallas. See, when we hire you as a TA, it is because of your abilities here that you are demonstrated in a classroom, not for what you come into the program with. And to make that work, we want you to spend 1 semester, and we want you to get a UTD GPA. The minimum GPA that you need is a 3.4, and the courses for which we are going to hire you should have taken those courses at UTD, and also should have secured an A in those classes. That's the minimum requirement. Now, another thing that you have to remember is you can apply for TA-ships in the first semester for a second semester TA-ship. Like in fall, you can apply for a spring TA-ship. The other thing to keep in mind is a TA-ship is not an academic award. It's not like that if you get a 4.0, here you go, because you have a 4.0, here is a TA-ship. It's a job. And we evaluate your academic abilities. We also evaluate the ability that you have to manage people. Every TA gets to work with 150 to 200 students. So are you somebody who can take that load along with being a full-time student? So those qualities also is something that we look at. And of course, your academic performance to make a decision whether we will hire you as a TA or not. Application is open for everybody. And even though you will not have a GPA, let's say if you're a first semester student in summer or fall, you still can apply. You still can apply, because what we do is we look at your GPA at the end of the semester and then make a decision that, okay, are we going forward with your candidature or not? I have an MSBA Flex Admit for Phil, accepted my offer, got my I-20. Well, congratulations on that. And the I-20 timelines are 7 to 10 business days. Again, not calendar days, business days. And last checked with ISSO, even if they get very close to that 10 business day mark, they are still issuing it within that 10 business day. And by the way, when I say that, I also mean that all the documents that they need from you have been received. If they've not been received, they'll go back to you. They will tell you what is missing out. So what I would say is when you're applying for an I-20, be conscious about the fact that in case your documentation is not correct, they will come back to you. And when they come back to you, that might take some extra time. The scholarship admission applications may be pending because, again, if you don't get a scholarship in a certain round and we give it out on a rolling basis, if you don't get a scholarship in a certain round, we don't reject your application outright. We put you back in the pool. And then when we come back for another review, we look at your candidature again with the new criteria. So you will not hear about any rejection until the time when the committee has kind of looked at all the possible applications. Now, May 1st is the deadline for us to receive your scholarship application as well as your official GRE or GMAT scores. So I would say that a few weeks after May 1st is when the final decisions will be rolled out, because after that, after May 1st, we don't have any new applications that we entertain. And as Mrs. Leventhal mentioned, it's not something that we take care of at the program level. This is something that is done at the school level. We have a committee for that. I'm looking at the questions to see which ones are answered. So somebody asked about the dual degree and how many credits they should take. And again, as Mrs. Leventhal mentioned, it's your choice. But what I would recommend is once you come here, connect with students who are doing a dual degree to figure out, what they have done in terms of managing their schedule. See, every student is different. We have had students who have loaded 18 credits in a semester and they have completed it. There are students who did it at a slower pace than that, but it all depends on what your ability is. I would say do not overload yourself with too many credits in the first semester, because the first semester is very important. Why is it important? So you're getting into this habit of taking classes. You are getting into the habit of, setting yourself into a routine of taking classes, doing assignments, etc., etc. There are a lot of, you're in a discovery phase. And when you're in a discovery phase, you don't want to set yourself up for, too much of work by taking too many classes. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot take those classes, but my personal recommendation would be 9 or 12 credits, and that excludes a PD class. So that's like 10 and 13 credits that you take in a semester. Explore and then figure out if you want to take more classes later on. For summer students, I would not recommend more than 2 classes, but if you want to take a third one, that's totally a decision. I see. Okay, well, if you go to our catalog, you will see the new, if on our program page, you will see the latest catalog posted out there. And we just published it, like it's a very recent change. Okay, I'm looking at all the questions that are not answered, that needs to be answered, or anything important. Yes, okay, instructors. So a lot of instructors that you might see are not yet assigned. Then the reason is because we go through a cycle where we look at our full-time faculty and then see wherever the needs are as to where our adjunct faculty, or if we need to add more sections, who will be teaching that. So we go through a process ourselves. But what we put out for you is at least a section that we have found a spot for and we have a time for. So my recommendation would be to look at the date and time and go from there to create your schedule. Now, remember, you might hear different types of opinions about faculty from friends and from other people that you may have spoken to, and everybody has an opinion. Why everybody has an opinion? Because it's their own personal experience. Just because somebody had a great experience doesn't mean that you might have the same one. Yeah, there is a probability that you might have a similar experience, but let's say somebody did not have a good experience with a particular instructor. Remember, there are always students who have a good and a not so good experience in the same class. And it all depends on who you end up talking to. So one of the things you can do is on Coursebook, we have previous year's evaluations of faculty. That is something that you can look at to base your decision off. Okay, because just don't let one person's opinion just derail everything that you think about a certain course, a certain faculty, or whatever it is. So keep your eyes and ears open, talk to more people if needed. But then you have to remember one thing, every student gains something in every class. There are students who gain a lot depending on how they work, and then there are students who have certain struggles. And every faculty is committed towards helping you with whatever you're struggling with. So they are in the school, just remember they are vetted. So if I was you, I would look at what timings work out and then just go for those courses. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing for you is the course that you want to take. The presentation will be shared, absolutely. And in fact, I'm also going to insert another set of another slide with the set of courses that we generally recommend for the first semester, and especially the ones which don't have any prereqs, so that you know what are those courses and those sections. So yes, you will see this. If you have any hold related to vaccines, you will not be able to register for classes unless that hold is pushed to the future. So if you see a hold, don't just panic just by looking at the hold. Look at the date. If that date is in the future, then you can register right now. Yes, you can register if your transcripts or degree official ones have not been sent yet, because we have the unofficial ones. We'll let you go and register for classes. You have until the start of the semester to send those official ones. Now you can send it through your undergrad institution by asking them to attest it and email it directly from the undergrad institution's official email address to admission, singular word, admission@utdallas.edu. Or you can have them, attest copies of it, put it in an envelope, seal the envelope, stamp the seals, and send it directly. Or if you want to take that envelope and mail it to UT Dallas, you can do that. Or if you want to bring it with you and submit here in the Dropbox, that also can be done. There are multiple ways to do it. Now, if you need time more, beyond the start of the semester, reach out to admission@utdallas.edu. Let them know what is the reason. If it's a genuine reason, like your university is shut down, and that's a genuine reason, they will give you time. But what they give is only a few months. They will put a hold on your enrollment for the second semester because they would need your official documents by then. How to opt for ML certification? So the certificate program is open to all. Once you're here in your first semester, just simply go and submit an application and make sure that you complete the 4 courses. So the 4 courses for ML is BA with R, which is also your core for business analytics, advanced BA with R, advanced statistics, my apologies. That is the second core course that you have. And then for the certificate, you need to take the applied machine learning course, which is an advanced course, which you take at least in your second semester. These 3 are the required courses. And then the 4th course could be the natural language processing, the NLP course, or the deep learning course. Either of the one, if you take, you will meet the criteria. And to get the certificate, and you can get the certificate even before you get your degree, and you can use that certificate to go out and talk about jobs. And if you're applying to internships and all, you can show them that you have completed something. But you can get that before you graduate. So Anonymous, we just talked about the unofficial documents, and can we pick courses across any of the concentrations that we need to take? Only course under. Great question. You can pick anything. You mix and match. It's like a buffet, okay? In the buffet, they don't tell you that you need to just take one of each dish. They put everything in front of you. You pick and choose how you want to do that. Your core, apart from your core classes, your electives are there, and there are about 75 choices to pick from electives. You can pick all your electives from the same track. You can pick multiple courses from multiple tracks. Even if you want to go beyond 36 credits, you can do that. In your graduating semester, you can take more than 36 credits worth of courses. But all that is possible, and it's your choice how you want to go about it. The recording will be available, yes. I got my admit on March 25th, and I see cannot register. Will it create a problem? It will, because we just talked about it. You cannot register for classes, and you will have either advising will remove it, or you'll have to send an email to jsomgradvising@utdallas.edu. When can I start internships? All right, so with the fall 22 catalog, we have a new rule that's coming in. So as of now, we have the 18 credit requirement. So once you finish your 18 credits, you are required to start an internship. But that is going away. We're going back to, what for international students, it is 2 long semesters that you should have spent here in the US before you start an internship. And for domestics, at least 12 credits that you should have finished in the program, and you can start an internship. But typically, fall students, they start their first internship in summer, but you can start applying for internships as soon as you come here to UT Dallas, because sometimes companies take a lot of time before they hire you, because they might hire you in October for a May internship all the way. Okay, I'm going to skip the ones that I've already answered. So any cannot register online questions, I'm skipping them right now. Arushi, great question. What tools do we use during our program? And I actually had a one-pager for that, which I will share in less than a second. Give me a second here. All right, I have it on my screen. The set of tools that you learn, R, Hadoop, Python, SAS, SAP, MongoDB, Apache Spark, AWS, Oracle, Tableau, Power BI, SQL Server, Hive, Click, Alteryx, you name it, and our students use it. There are tons of these packages around Python, and that you will end up using. And there are lots of great tools that our instructors use in their classes to help you gain hands-on experience. And this is just a snapshot of some of them. So thank you for that question there. For off-campus student, what type of transport is available? Another great question, Arushi. So we have a bus called 883, 883, why? Because on the numpad, if you look at it, 883 is UTD. But that bus is available from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. in the night. Every 15 minutes or so, you will see that bus go on your route, and it covers uh, a 2 to 5 mile radius of the campus. And most of the off-campus communities where our students live are within 1 to 2 miles of the campus. So that bus is readily available for you all to take. And also, as a UTD student, so the Dallas Area Rapid Transit, which is our local public transport, you get a card called the Comet card, which is your ID card at the university. That doubles up as a DART pass. So all you have to do is just walk into any of the trains or buses, which is part of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, show that card, and you don't have to pay. It's free for you as a student. So some courses that you might want to take before the start of the semester, I would say courses like, R and Python are two things that you will readily use in the program. So any foundational course that can get you started is good. On top of it, add any database, whether it is Oracle, it is MySQL. The ability to write queries is what you need to have. And just foundations, again, don't spend too much money. There's a lot of free content available. And what we do is, in the course of the program, from now until the start of the program, we will invite you for boot camps. We will invite you for workshops, and we will send stuff that you can read yourself. For example, being a first semester student, if you're taking the stats class, every student in the stats class will receive a set of videos. It's about 2 to 5 hours long, but those videos help you get started with stats, and that's what we'll do there. Okay. How to choose which professor to choose for any specific class out of the multiple professors are the same? Well, I would say start with, what your preference is in terms of time. Okay, that is one way of choosing your professors. And then look at, you might look at course evaluations from previous semesters. But what I would say is start with the time, because that's the most important piece. See, in every class you will learn something great. Every professor has their style. And again, the person who might be giving you some feedback about any professor, maybe the style matches, maybe it doesn't match. But you can look at their course evaluations, you can look at what time they're teaching, and then let that be a point from where you make the decision which class to choose. Or you simply pick up a class if you want to register under a certain professor. Whatever class is available, if there is a seat, you just enroll in that. Now, again, if the class is full and there is another section open, and you're not able to get on the wait list, just get into one of the sections, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be in a situation where you waited too long for a spot to get open under a certain instructor and you didn't end up getting that spot. Yes, you can do some courses, and as I said, we will share whatever we can with you before the start of classes to get you kind of acquainted. Into our last 10 minutes, so I'll just take questions that I feel we have not answered at all, or we have not touched on at all. If your status says that you're matriculated, you can start enrolling. That is just like that you've accepted and now you're ready to enroll. How internships for college credits work at MSBA Flex program? Well, you can just simply take an internship. You will have to assign it 0, 1, 2, or 3 credits to it. You can split those 3 credits across multiple semesters. That's the best thing about it. But the max that you can work on an internship is 364 days. So you can do multiple semesters worth of internships, but all of that should total to 364. When you get an internship, you simply report it to the university. The Career Center approves it to see if the company is legit. Then the program sees that whether this internship is related to the coursework that you have taken or not. And is it at the level of a master's student? And then we send it to advising. They put you in the class or whatever credits that you have picked up. And then finally, If you're an international student, ISSO will issue you an I-20, which is work authorization for you to work on your internship. How many TAs or RAs are employed? So in our department, we pick up about 30 to 35 TAs every long semester. Overall, the school employs close to, I would say, 80 to 100 TAs every semester. So when you apply to the giant pool from where all the departments, they pick their TAs. Is it mandatory that elective and core classes should be taken in the 4? Is there any mandatory? Okay, the only mandatory classes that you must take in the first semester is the professional development class and OPRE 6303. And both these classes will be listed on your admit letter. So whichever class is listed, maybe you don't have OPRE 6303 listed, you will not have to take that class, but those are the mandatory ones. The rest, the 3 that I showed you, database, PA with R, and advanced stats, they are recommended because they are prereqs for a lot of advanced courses. And we will send you stuff. And by the way, you can take up to 6 credits, which is 2 courses from any degree program in the School of Management without needing any additional approval. There are a few courses that we don't allow. There are 3, 4 of them, and they're listed on the new catalog. But apart from that, even if you want to take it outside of the School of Management, let's say in another school like computer science and all, you can take those courses. But remember, there are 2 things. You will need approval from that department and JSOM, and at the same time, and JSOM is the Jindal School of Management. And the other thing is, in case that other course has prereqs, you'll have to take those prereqs as well, which might bump your credits beyond 36 if needed. Absolutely, you can take the object-oriented programming using Python, but remember, we have programming for data science, which also uses Python. There's in fact a new course coming up on modeling, data modeling, which is start using Python. So there are multiple courses. You have to decide whether you want to take a foundational course or you want to take something which is advanced and uses one of the programming languages as well. The orientation for the international students, it is listed on the, you just need to look at the international orientations page of UT Dallas. And if you just Google international student orientation UT Dallas, that's the first link that comes up. All the slots for summer and fall are listed there. And thank you for that, because when we send the recording and this information, we will add those links as well for you. So if you're taking 15 credits, anything beyond 12 credits is free. If I split my courses like 12 credits, 9, 9, 6, 4 terms, since I not have. So again, you are required to be a full-time student. However, you can do reduced course load for a variety of reasons. And the most popular reason that people do reduce course load, which is less than 9 credits, is internships. So if you do an internship and you're taking less than 9 credits, you cannot do back-to-back semesters of reduced course load unless the second semester when you're doing a reduced course load is your graduating semester. In your graduating semester, all you need to do is 1 credit. Face-to-face 1 credit, and that's all that you need. Or if you're a domestic student, there's no face-to-face requirement. You can just do 1 credit online as well. So for the scholarship, accepting the admit gives the committee an indication that you are seriously pursuing UT Dallas, and that might help. So if you're under the age of 22 at the start of classes, you will have to take the meningitis vaccine. The details of where you can take it from is available on the Student Health Center page. Just have to submit proof of vaccination, and I believe you can take it from any place possible. Well, you can get access to Handshake once you're enrolled into classes. The minimum wages depend, depending on what you are working for. So it can be anywhere from, I've seen don't quote me on this, but $8.5 to an hour to 15, even $20 an hour, depending on what department it is. I think the average is about $11 an hour. So which track to see? Here is the deal. This is a graduate program. Okay, so I'm sure that you have thought about it, like how it is going to factor into your future career that you're getting into this program. Look at your career plan as to what you want to do. And from there, kind of reverse engineer as to what skill sets you lack. And let that be the reason for what courses you want to take, and you will see where those courses fit, what tracks they fit into. However, if you have just a very simple question as to how do I build my career around X track, like let's say you want to say data science, how do I build a career around data science? Then that's where you see that the data science track has the courses which help you towards building your career in data science. But I think a better strategy would be to evaluate what you want to do some research around it. That's why, in your first semester, even if you don't take some of the courses, it's not a deal breaker. It gives you time to become more aware. And then you take those, reverse engineer what you are doing and what you want to do in the future, and then let that be the decision maker for you for which courses to take. You can register for classes even if you're in your final year, and if you have an admit, you can register. But remember, you cannot start your degree program if your results are not out before the start of classes. If there is a delay, for whatever reason it is, reach out to advising, see how many days it is. But if there is a significant delay, then you probably have to defer your admission to spring. Okay, I am not taking the ones which have already answered. Yes, if it is taking time to attest your degree, we don't need your official documents right now to let you register for classes. Simply email admission@UT Dallas and they'll ask them to move your hold rather than remove your hold. There's a difference. What happens if a student fails a TB test? Well, it can happen. It has happened to a lot of students that they failed it. And what they do is, because they do the first test is the T-spot blood test, it's very sensitive. It might give some false positives as well. So what they do is they refer you to another center, or they ask you to do a chest X-ray to be sure. And people, most of the people clear it. Very few times here and there we've had students who had TB, or they failed the TB test. They had to defer, and if they're an international student, go back, get the treatment, become better, and then come back. See, it's a communicable disease, so we want to make sure that you're healthy around your peers. How do I know what is the best elective for me? What is the possible ways to evaluate the elective? Again, take the first few courses that we have asked you to take. Come to the campus, take those classes. That will help you gain some perspective as to where you want to be, because once you are studying with people, once you are attending events, once you're talking to employers, there is so much of new information for you to make better decisions. Okay, I am taking the ones that I feel. Can internships be done during the semester? They have to be done during the semester only. I mean, you will be in one of the semesters anyways. You can do, and multiple graduate certificates can be pursued. That's not a problem. If you want to take healthcare analytics and you want to take all the courses in that, and you just want to do one internship for 0 credit, that's okay. All we need is minimum from you, one internship for 0 credit. And in case you don't get an internship, there is an alternate course called the practicum that you can take to meet that requirement. It's a 3 credit course, flat 3 credits, no variables there. We don't know what the class size for fall 2022 will be, but we have always had the averages have been between 300 to 400. Yes, so if you have received the flex admission, you can simply just go ahead And in the same portal where your appointment is listed, from that time you can start enrolling. Now, if you have an admit from another program as well and you don't want to pursue that program, I would strongly recommend that please send an email to admission@utdallas.edu asking them to withdraw from the program that you don't want to pursue. Well, depending on companies, there are companies that use R, there are companies that use Python, and a lot of our courses. So you have BA with R, where you have Python, that is with R. We have a new data modeling class that is coming up, which is in Python. We have programming for data science, which is Python and R kind of a mix. We have applied machine learning, which is Python based, we have NLP, which is Python based. We have deep learning, which is Python based. I mean, so there are a lot of classes that are Python based. That is there. You can take any mix of core and electives in the first semester. UTD provides temporary laptops if you don't have them, but they are leased out to you for a few days. I would strongly recommend bring your own laptop. And let's say if you're traveling internationally and your laptop is not good, you want to buy a new one, you can buy it here in the US. You can always use your student discounts at places. And a lot of companies do give new student discounts that you can avail. Once the meningitis hold is moved or removed, then only you can register, and you need to email registrar@utdallas.edu for meningitis related holds. So the computer configuration, which I believe which will work for you well, is every now and then the requirements are going up. A year ago I would say minimum 16 GB of RAM, at least 256 GB of solid state, because that's the way to go. You don't want to have a hard disk drive, you want to have a solid state. And any decent graphics card will work. But now looking at how things have changed and how things move, and this is a laptop that you will be using for at least a couple of years. I would say if you can go for 16 or 32 GB RAM and maybe a 512 GB SSD, that will help you for a long period of time. But the minimum that you would need is 16 GB RAM, 256 GB SSD. And you also get 1 GB of space on one drive for free. 1 TB, not GB, 1 TB. Till the time you're a student here. The maximum credits per internship that you can use is 3. Now you can take all 3 in one semester, or you can have 3 semesters of 1 credit each, or you can have like a first internship of 0 credit and then 1 credit and then 2 credits. So there are all the permutations and combinations you can think of is like that, but you can do only max of 3. Okay, we talked about on-campus jobs. When does class registration for fall start? It will start in the next few days. Check Orion for your appointment. There is an appointment listed for you, and that will tell you when exactly it starts. Any student can arrive 30 days before, an international student can arrive 30 days before the start of classes. 30 calendar days. Yes, so different people will have different slots if you are the same new students, because of course there are limited slots, but the university kind of spreads it around 2 to 3 days for the same level of people. And again, it's very random how it is given. But trust me on that, it doesn't give you a super advantage or puts you at a disadvantage as well. So, and as you get closer to your graduation, your slot will tend to get prioritized based on how close you are to graduation. So a lot of student organizations will do their kickoffs right at the start of the semester, and they will send out flyers. Simply join those events and know what kind of student orgs are there. So again, the way this is worked is not every section that is offered in the program is available right now. So we might open more sections. We might add, certain instructors that you may want to take. They might take additional classes. So all that opens up in the next few weeks. So don't worry. Even if you are if you have the last possible appointment, you will still get classes that you're looking for. And that's why I say, look at the courses you want to take rather than, oh, I just want to go with this one instructor because one person told me that this is a good one. Do your research before you get into a class. Remember, every instructor has students that like the instructor, and there are students who will not have a good experience for whatever reason that they have. So ask those reasons as well. When somebody says that, okay, don't take a certain professor, well, ask them why. What is the reason? Prod them so that you are better informed. You can find it in the course book, the evaluations from previous semester. Just search for the course and you will see those evaluations. They are out of 5. And it talks about multiple criteria in which the scores are given out of 5. It's public knowledge. For classes now, your instructors will tell you whether they want you to buy books or they will provide the content. Every instructor is different. Like, for example, for my classes that I teach, there's no books that I ask them to buy. All they do is, everything that is provided by me, and students don't have any additional expenses. You can opt for one online course in the semester, provided if you're an international student, you need to take at least 9 credits, which you will take in the first semester. So you can do that. If you want to take more than 1, let's say 2, then you need to at least enroll in 12 credits being an international student. The detailed steps and procedures. So I did show you some of the, I probably did not add those links, but there are some YouTube links for from our advising office as to how you can go about registering. And I'm going to share that in the email that I send with the recording. How soon? So domestic students complete 12 credits and you're ready. International students starting in fall 22, you need to at least complete 2 long semesters. Internship credits are counted as part of 36 credits. The class timing, so classes start anywhere between 8:30 a.m. all the way until 10 p.m. So we have classes starting at 10 o'clock in the morning. Then there's an 11:30 class, there's a 1 o'clock class, there is a 2:30 class, there's a 4 o'clock class, there's a 5:30 class, there's a 7 o'clock class. Now, depending on your courses, you might have 1 sitting for each course every week. 1 sitting of 2 hours, 45 minutes. Some of the courses might have 2 sections, 2 meetings of an hour and 15 minutes each, but most of them is once a week. Most of our students take classes either at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock or at 7 o'clock, and they go for about 3 hours. What is the criteria for second-year scholarship? If it's an academic scholarship like Dean's Excellence, it's all your GPA and all, but there are several donor scholarships. There's a scholarship called Dean's Impact that will take into account what you have done and extra co-curricular activities that has impacted the student life at UTD. Well, you will have to graduate at the end of 36 credits, but as I said, in your final semester, you can take beyond 36 credits, which means, let's say in your final semester, you're left with 1 credit. You have not met 36. You don't have to just take that 1. You can take up to 18 if you want to go beyond that. But let's say you finish off in, let's say, a fall semester, and at the end of that semester you are at 36 credits. You can't say, oh, in spring I'm going to take more classes and I'll be, I'll just take more classes. Then that means in fall you have to graduate because you've completed the program. Oh, absolutely, you can move into management consulting. Just take courses around it, and make sure that you spend some good amount of time networking here with the right people. See, analytics is a course that everybody in the organization benefits from. Every other role that you see or any other program, like software development, will keep you only in one spot. in a certain kind of roles. Any other course that you see will keep you in those specific areas. But analytics is something. It's agnostic of the industry. It is applicable everywhere across every level. And that's the reason why freshers and chief executives, all sorts of people are coming into these programs to learn about what really analytics is. So you are in the hottest program that's pretty much out there. So there's a question about enrollment while doing internship. As I said, you can do reduced course load. You don't have to be enrolled in 9 credits. You can just do an internship in that semester. But remember, that will put some load on the next semester, depending on how many courses you can take. And you cannot have back-to-back semesters of reduced course load unless the second semester is your graduating semester. If you're graduating from your undergrad degree in June, you still would have sent us enough number of transcripts. If you have the admit, you can register now. But we will kind of keep a close eye on whether you're sending us your 8th semester mark sheets or not, or whether you have passed your undergrad degree or not. If you have not passed it, you cannot start the graduate program. Actually, that's what we just discussed, what courses you can take in the fall semester. But we will send you a deck of what courses are possible. And then if you have questions, and this is, by the way, not the last webinar when we are talking about course registration. We'll try to do this every few weeks in case you have more questions before you come down here. See, we are available as a resource for you, so don't worry. We are here to help you. So you can reach within 30 days from the start of the program. There are day classes also available in summer, but there are lesser of the day classes. Most of the classes are at 6 p.m. For summer. It's a short semester. There are lesser offerings, but we do make sure that you have the basic classes for sure. And in case there are more sections that we can open up, we'll try to balance it off in the day as well. Internships are not done only during semester break. Internships are connected to a semester, so you have to do internships during a semester. Now, whether you take courses with that is a different question. Now, you can do an internship locally in Dallas and still take all 9 credits, and that's possible. People do that. But if you're outside of Dallas, then you're limited to just one online class. No, the age is not a problem. Skill set is what they look at. So don't worry. And if you are an older student and you come with experience, and whatever experience, whether it is related to the program or not, it's still experience. There is some amazing thing about experiences that they cannot be gained by just making you sit in a crash course. They have to be gained over a period of time. So you have that, and you definitely have that advantage. Plus, you're a great addition to the class because you can share your experiences about related things. So don't worry about your age. Age doesn't matter. Being an international, what is the maximum number of hours that we can work in an internship or a TA-ship? Well, both. It's 18 credits irrespective of what you're doing. But if you're doing a TA-ship or an internship, we don't recommend to take 18 credits. 9 is what the recommendation is. Average salary after graduation. I am so happy that somebody asked that question. It's so we've seen for the last few years, it's been close to 100K first year compensation. That includes the base, the bonuses, and the top end has been close to 250 to 300K. You can start your co-op or your internship after your 2 long semesters if you're an international student. Domestic students after 12 credits. The Business Analytics Leadership Council is our student body. That is like a conduit between us and the student body. It's all our students. They're very active leaders. They help in pretty much everything that we do in the program. And they also run a mentoring program. So you can become a mentor once you are here at UT Dallas, or you can choose to be a mentee. And it's good to have a peer mentor because these are senior students and they can help you with some of the navigation that you may require as a student. How to apply for on-campus jobs once you're enrolled in the program. There's a portal called Handshake, and from there you can go and start applying. But remember, you can only do those jobs once you're here in the US. You cannot do them remotely. For international, if you arrive after the first day of first semester, does it affect? Well, if you don't arrive on the first day and for whatever reason you're delayed, we sometimes give you a letter of late arrival for up to a week. That's fine. Again, that letter is not a guarantee that the officer at the port of entry will allow you, but mostly they do. But it doesn't affect your chances of internship. You're late by a couple of days, it will not hurt you. Now, if you're late, if you want to come after 2-3 months, now that's not possible. Please don't. If you're late beyond a week, let us know, and we would recommend you move your admit to a future semester. Well, the registration online needs to be done through Orion. And if you go to the Jindal at UT or the advising page on the Jindal website, you will see all the videos that will help you to enroll for classes. All right, last, because we are 17 minutes over, I want to respect your time. The last 3 questions that I'm going to take here. If I do internship in summer break, by the way, it's not a summer break, it's still a semester, but you're not really required to enroll in any minimum classes. And yes, it will be counted towards the 3 credits if you take an internship then. PD can be added to just your card, just like any other course out there. We will do industry-related boot camps as well. We do, in fact, ask a lot of speakers to come and talk. In fact, 3 days from now, we are calling a principal of digital transformation at Amazon to come and talk to us about our latest student organization that we started. It's called code.exe, and it is all about just coding. Handshake portal is, again, just look for UTD Handshake, and once you're an enrolled student, you can go create your profile and start looking for jobs. 3-year undergrad degree is accepted in MSBA. And the last question, whether every student gets placed after they graduate? Absolutely. In fact, our placement rate, and we look at the first 3 months and then the 6 months. In the first 3 months itself, and most of the students get hired within a few weeks of graduation, or some of them even before graduation, is 90+%. Despite being the largest business analytics program in the country, we still hit more than 90%. That should tell you that there are a lot of companies that are looking out for our students. And those placement rates, again, anybody who's looking for a job, I have not had a student who has come back and said, I couldn't find a job. If you're seeking an internship or a job, if you're seeking a full-time job, you will definitely get that. And that is what I feel is the best part about the program, because you've put all this effort in. You need a job, you need to start your career, and that definitely happens. So thank you for asking that. Becoming a mentor is not an on-campus job, it's voluntary work, and you have our forever gratitude for becoming a mentor. And Anonymous, you are welcome, and I'm sure the rest of you, if you have any questions, just reach out to me or Mrs. Leventhal, and we'll be more than happy to take your questions. Wow. I just saw on my side it said no new questions, so I hope this was helpful. You will see an email from me with the same information so that you have it at your end. And we are excited, to be honest. That's what I want to say. We are so excited that we get to, let you all come to UT Dallas and, let ourselves be part of your lives, because this is the major decision of starting a degree, and we are thankful that you chose us as your next stop. So until then, and we'll be in touch through email. A lot of you are on Telegrams, and thank you for all the nice questions you put out there. And I try to answer them as soon as possible, but very, very thankful for the fact that you are all part of our lives. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.